Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Thursday, remember yesterday we were talking quite extensively. I had a conversation with you about medical marijuana in the state of Florida. Well, now it's been announced that Planet 13, a cannabis company that owns the world's largest dispensary in Las Vegas, they got big plans for Florida. There's going to be a new cultivation facility right in South Marion County. The company just bought 23 acres in Summerfield. It's going to build a 63,000 square foot building. It'll supply at least 13 dispensaries throughout the state. They just recently announced the medical marijuana dispensary in Ocala, but there's even bigger plans in the future for cannabis in Florida. Planet 13 was founded in 2014. It operates 3 dispensaries, 4 cultivation facilities in Nevada and California, along with Florida. Is expanding into Illinois soon. It's going to be built in Summerfield, right next door to Oxford Down Poker Room and Horse Track. Planet 13 purchased the property from Jack's Over Nines, owned by Tony Mendola, the president and owner of Oxford Downs. Planet 13 CEO Larry Scheffler said, everybody says they have the best grower in the world and so on. I always ask them how many international awards your growers have. They've won many awards for their quality. They're going to build greenhouses and everything out there. It's already been leasing a 10,500 square foot building on the property, which was a tree nursery. They have two dozen truckloads of steel to start the process of building it. The new facility is expected to produce 12,000 pounds of marijuana flower, 2,400 pounds of premium small flower, and 6,000 pounds of trim annually. Marion County, they said, was chosen because of its central location, which is key to distributing the product nationwide or statewide. It'll be built into a full campus beyond just a cultivation facility. He indicated it may have some type of entertainment project for Ocala and Orlando. So the Las Vegas dispensary, the world's largest, is 85,000 square feet, and it sees 1.3 million visitors annually. So this is a big operation, and they're bringing it to South Marion County in Oxford. Some people may say, well, Tom, we don't need a cannabis grow facility here. Folks, it's been legalized medically, and we don't stop medical testing sites and all from that test medicine that you think is normal medicine. For those of you that don't think marijuana has any medical use, it does. The voters overwhelmingly passed it into law, into the Constitution, as a matter of fact. And so you get these kind of businesses are going to come to and operate in Florida because there's a need here. There's 21 million people here. 1 million of them have medical marijuana cards. That's a large group of people that need to be supplied, for lack of a better way. That's what they're doing. And it will bring lots more jobs to Marion County. And in a field that pays good money, because they have a lot of money, these are not going to be, $10 or $12 an hour jobs. Tom, minimum wage will be $15. I know. But that's what I'm getting at. These are not going to be minimum wage jobs. And it just gives another diverse, another type of business that keeps the diverse economics of Marion County. Whether you like it or not, marijuana is a part of the fabric nowadays. And what we've told you from the time I was part of the group that was the voice of Ocala, what I told you when I had my own show, Common Sense with Tom Schmitz, and what I'm telling you now with Ocala Talks, and what the CEP of Marion County, the Marion County Ocala Chamber of Economic Partnership, what the county commission has tried to tell you, what the different municipalities have tried to tell you, is we are at a transportation hub because of the central location of Ocala, with the vein of travel I-75 and the vein of travel of U.S. Highway 441 and U.S. Highway 301. We are at a hub of transportation. And that's why people want to relocate here, because it makes their logistics make more sense. And it's just not the cannabis industry. It's all kind of different industries that take advantage of truck routes. Ocala sits in a very favorable position to be in the catbird seat to get a lot of that industry because of the location and because of the roadways and where they run to. 75 is a major artery all the way up to the Midwest, the northern part of the Midwest. I-95, major artery all the way up to Maine. 301 and 441, major arteries that take you all the way up through the south into the north. Ocala has all of them. It is a hub of transportation, and we've been singing that song in some way or another for the 12 years I've been doing this job. So, good job, Marion County, for getting another diverse business in here that's going to bring jobs and revenue to our county. We'll take a break. We'll come back. More, hour number 3, just around the corner. You listen to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pride.
According to Mexican President Lopez Obrador, a number of Biden administration policies are getting out of hand. The Mexican president says U.S. gas prices are too high, and his country has been saving oil to export to the United States since the energy crisis started. Additionally, the Mexican president slammed the state of the U.S.-Mexico border. The UN has called it the most dangerous border in the world. As inflation is now costing Americans hundreds of extra dollars every month, economist David Ragland on Fox Now.
The inflation that we're facing, as we all know, is a combination of two things: not enough supply and too much demand. So it's going to be hot for a while.
Billionaire Bill Gates has pledged to give away his wealth. He says he's putting his money into the Gates Foundation to boost its spending from $6 billion a year to $9 billion by 2026. USA Radio News.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-444-9336. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-444-9336. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-444-9336. 800-444-9336.
U.S. stocks drop.
Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
Helping keep kids fed during summer. That's coming up on This Land of Ours. Farmers, produce safety inspections are here. Prepare your farm with an on-farm readiness review. The Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and University of Florida are partnering to provide this on-site preparation service for free. Our team of produce safety experts offer individualized support to make sure your operation meets the regulatory requirements. Contact us to help prepare your farm today. Request your free visit at www.fdacs.gov/OFRR. That's www.fdacs.gov/OFRR.
Peanut producers, fine-tune your farming operation with information gain at the 23rd Annual Southern Peanut Growers Conference, set for July 21 through 23 at Edgewater Beach Resort in Panama City Beach, Florida. The 3-day event provides farmers with information about peanut production, legislative issues, marketing, and promotions. The conference is presented by the Southern Peanut Farmers Federation. Visit southernpeanutfarmers.org for more information.
The USDA is partnering with states and territories across the country to work with urgency to provide food benefits for the summer months to eligible children. As of July 8th, 27 states and territories, including Puerto Rico, are set up to provide these benefits to an estimated 13 million children. Cindy Long, administrator of USDA's Food and Nutrition Service, says for far too long, millions of families have struggled to keep their kids fed and healthy during the summer months, while school is out. She says child food benefits can bridge the gap and help families provide the nourishment their children deserve. She says they can also help American families cope with the rising cost of food. Children are eligible for the temporary nutrition benefit called PEBT if they get free or reduced priced meals during the school year. Children 6 and under are also eligible if they live in a household receiving SNAP benefits. I'm Sabrina Halverson for the Southeast AgNet.
Unbeatable prices and events are popping up everywhere at Rural King, like an antique steel fire pit for just $49.98, or your choice of 27-foot tie-down ratchet straps, just $7.99 a piece. And don't miss taking a spin on the baddest mowers at our Lawn Mower Rodeo, Saturday, June 18th from 10 till 2. Must be 16 or older to ride. Shop now at ruralking.com or your neighborhood Rural King, America's farm and home store.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today we'll have sunshine mixing with some clouds with a thunderstorm this afternoon. High today 88 to 92. Then patchy clouds this evening. Low tonight 71 to 75. We'll have sunshine mixing with some clouds Friday. Thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon. High tomorrow 89 to 92. Thunderstorms this weekend. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Thursday, the July 1st property values have been released for Marion County. And what sounds like good news when you delve into it a little deeper isn't that good of news. What I mean, well, property value was $1.72 billion more than it was estimated it was going to be. That means property values increased year over year by 21%, not the 14% that was estimated in June. That means more money for local government agencies, which are now preparing their budgets because property values went up, the tax dollars will go up. Your taxes did not increase. Your property value increased. Therefore, the money you pay in taxes, the amount you pay, the mill rate is still the same. But because your house is valued at more money now, the money you have to pay in taxes goes up. So, yes, your taxes are increasing, but not the rate at which you're being taxed. So while it means more money for local government, it means more money out of your pocket if you own a commercial or residential property. 29 property value, Marion County's 2022 property value right now, $29.73 billion. That's the highest level ever. That's up from the previous high mark was last year at $24.57 billion. It was $22.55 billion in 2020, and $22.35 billion in 2007. This from the Marion County Property Appraiser's Office. The taxable property value is $5.16 billion higher than the final value for 2021. There's been an $8.82 billion increase in taxable property value in the past 3 years combined. So the money you're paying in property tax has increased by 42% in the last 3 years. The rate you're being taxed hasn't increased, but your contribution has increased because your property values have rocketed upward. Just as back in the economic downturn and the recession of 2008, 2009, when the housing boom burst, property values plummeted. So your contributions to the county and the city municipalities plummeted because your property was valued at less than they were originally thought. Well, now they're valued at much more. They have rebounded and far surpassed where they were before the real estate bubble of 2008, 2009. And it comes at a bad time with inflation being out of control. It comes at a bad time to have to give more money to tax, more tax dollars. Because you're already being asked to pay more for gas and pay more for perishable items and pay more for clothes, pay more for everything, including your house because the value of it's increased. But the other problem is, because the value's increased, it is increased to the point where it may not be a sellable house because there may not be people with the means to buy the house if you wanted to sell it. So then the question begs, is it really worth the value? Because as you know, in a capitalist society, everything is only worth what somebody will pay you for it. That's the conundrum going on right now. And you see it right here in Marion County. Property appraisals, year to year, just from last year to this year, your property's value increased by over 20%. So if you had a house that was $100,000 last year, it's worth $120,000. Actually, $121,000 $400. That far, see, that takes about, for those of you who, if you got a $100,000 house, it can increase to almost $25,000. You only get a $25,000 exemption for homeowner's exemption, homestead exemption. If you got a $300,000 house, the value of your homes went up almost $65,000. If you got a $500,000 house, the value of your house has increased almost $100,000 to $600,000. You have to pay taxes on that extra $100,000 above and beyond what you paid for before. So while people say, Tom, they raised taxes, no, nobody raised taxes. They raised the value of your home. So you're paying more taxes. And it comes at a very bad time because inflation, you need that money. Now they could have voted to, at the county commission and at the school board and different places, they could have voted to lower the mill rate. But then when you do that, here's the problem with that. You lower the mill rate, and then what happens if a bubble happens again? So they didn't raise the mill rate. They didn't raise your taxes. They kept it equal, the same as it's been for years. But because your property values have increased, your contribution has increased. At a very bad time for that to have to happen because of what this administration has done to this economy. 9.1% inflation, highest in 40 years. It's ridiculous that you pay almost $4 for a dozen eggs. It's ridiculous that you're paying over $4 for a gallon of milk. It is damn ridiculous that we're paying over $4 for a gallon of gas when there's an easy solution for that. Just start drilling here in the United States again. And you don't think, I always tell you that local politics are the one that hits you the most. This economy being in such bad shape, the effect it has locally in taking money because your home value is increased, but so you're having to spend more tax dollars, but also your fuel bill is increased and your bill to put your kids into school with all the supplies they need is increased. We just heard a bare minimum backpack with all the supplies it needed is $40. You got a family of 3 kids, that's $120 just for the bare minimum. And that's just in pencils and paper. Everything has went up, including the value of your home. And it is all translated into more money out of your pocket and my pockets. At a time where the struggle's real, folks. And, somebody goes, well, the rich aren't feeling it. They don't feel it as bad as people in the middle class and the working class. But they still feel it. They just are able to deal with it because they have so much money. They're able to deal with it a little better than you and I are. But everybody's affected by this. Everybody. From the richest person in the world to the poorest person in the world in the United States. Everybody's affected by this. And again, it brings me back to when you go to the voting booth in November, if you feel like financially you're as good or better than you were 2 years ago, vote to keep in place what's happening now. If you feel that you're in worse shape financially than you were 2 years ago, vote to change what's happening now. If everybody used just that as the measuring tool, the people that are in office now will be thrown out of office in a landslide. The people that are in power now will be thrown out in a landslide. If the only measuring stick you use is your wallet better today than it was 2 years ago? The obvious answer for 99.9% is your wallet's not better. It can't be. It's an economic impossibility. And I hear people complain about it all the time. I'm going to tell you why some people should never complain. I'll do that next. You're listening to Ocala Talks, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source. Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn